January 23rd. Just a go home show to Saturday night's main event when we're gonna, for some reason, have this show more promoted than the Royal Rumble, which the Royal Rumble is a very important pay-per-view, but but yeah, this is the go home show to Saturday night's main event. So let's see how it goes. We're gonna do something a little different because my name's Lemon, so I'm gonna do a sweet and sour. See how the show was, if it was worse than it was good. For some reason, Raw has been, it's a trend that I've been noticing for the past year. If a show like Raw is good, then SmackDown is trash. And if SmackDown is trash, then that means that Raw is good. But Raw has been a bit of a chore. And SmackDown being 3 hours, ever since the year started, SmackDown has been the superior brand, which I never really thought would happen because a fan who was watching last year, as a fan who was watching last year, wasn't good. I mean, for the men at least, the women are still being booked like garbage. I mean, Jade hasn't even fought the champion. And then for some reason, creative isn't seeing Alexa Bliss and Chelsea Green on the same level playing field, which is very disrespectful. But yeah, we're going to get into it. So the show starts off with Sami Zayn being over because he's in Canada. That's some French. Then I don't really care. I don't care about Sami Zayn. Trick Williams, he comes out. He gets amazing crowd reception overseas and in the States. So I wasn't surprised when he was super over. The crowd chant "whoop that Trick," and then Sami says some words, and then Trick says some words, and then Sami says, "You're not on my level," and then bloody doobly dee, and then they have some words, and then Damian Priest comes out, I believe, and then Damian Priest says that, Trick, you're scared of me. And Trick was like, nah, I'm gonna hit Sami in the face. And so he hit Sami in the face. And then I popped because any offense Sami takes on TV, I'm all here for it. I wish there was like a YouTube 2K compilation of Sami taking all the finishers. That'd be so nice to see. Even from the women, because we can do intergender now in 2K25. Have Sami take finishers from men and women, even managers like Jimmy Hart, not Honky Talk Man, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Paul Bearer, Paul Heyman, Adam Pearce, just Nick Aldis, just have everybody hitting their finisher on Sami Zayn. But anyways, Trick Williams, which I love the way that they handled him this week. See, if they would have handled him the first week, then that would have been better. But they didn't make Trick look like a wuss. They didn't make him look average, like they made him look average on his first week there. But how the segment ended, also green shirt guy. I noticed that since it was really cold, I think Michael Cole said it was 0 degrees, but I'm not sure because Michael. Anyways, he was wearing a long sleeve t-shirt. He looked so cozy in the front row. Man, the green shirt guy, he's such a legend. It wouldn't surprise me if the green shirt guy made it into the WWE Hall of Fame. Anyways, so then at some point, Sami Zayn, he ends up, putting the fisticuffs to Trick Williams in the corner, and then Damian Priest, he pulls Sami off, and then Sami says, "What are you doing?" And then Priest says, "What are you doing?" And then they kind of just have like a kiss thing, and walk into each other like a Brokeback Mountain scene. And then you see Trick Williams shove Damian into Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn fell to the ground, and I got happy. And then Trick Williams rolled out. The A1 instigator. That should be Trick Williams, his attitude, like Hollywood rock. but kind of an instigator, and that's what he did. He did that, and I loved it because it's funny when people instigate, especially when it's between two faces. But you got to be careful because, but at the same time, Sammy, he's one of those people who have been booked so weirdly to the point where people don't really care for him. I don't care for Sammy either, but I definitely believe he should not be in the world title scene. Sammy's a mid-carder. And that's just how it is, man. Like, I really don't like the way they so we're backstage, and then we see Chelsea Green, who is a generational star. Then we see Kaylee Ray, Alba Fire, but she's Kaylee Ray to me because I was watching NXT UK since it came out and since it ended, and when it ended, and she was a champion for about 649 days. And every time I see her booking, I get depressed, like a sad little sea lion, because I'm just like, y'all brought her up to do this. She got brought up to the main roster to be, well, first in the Unholy Union, which wasn't a, and then they drafted Blair Davenport to SmackDown to pair them, but then they kind of turned Blair Davenport into a jobber and then released her. And then the same thing to Alba Fire, and the same thing to Isla Dawn. And then they kept Alba Fire and then had her having 2-minute squash matches when she's losing and all this. And I'm just thinking, she was champion for almost like 3 years. And that's how they do her. It infuriates me. Like, I can't sit here and watch it, but I have to. It's real. It's depressing to see Kaylee Ray because she deserves better, and then to see her job is so sad. And I don't know. It really takes away from a segment. Like, Chelsea Green is amazing. Apparently, after seeing, I don't watch Unreal because I'm not watching that. I'm never watching that. But to see how the fans versus the company sees Chelsea Green is just very disrespectful. They don't even see her on the same level as Alexa Bliss. And apparently they don't see Alexa Bliss as much because they have her only relegated to being Charlotte Flair's friend. So they can have this thing where they turn Charlotte eventually and then have her on her own winning triple double championships and probably relegate Alexa Bliss down the card because that's the only reason why they're a tag team. I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, Alba Fire, who deserves so much better. I remember when she lost to Stephanie Vaquer in like 2 minutes, and then she had another match that she lost in 2 minutes. She got brought up as a jobber, jabroni, lackey, lapdog, and that's so unfortunate. And then they did the same thing to Hyper Niven. Hyper Niven deserves so much better too. I hope she's doing well, but she deserves so much better. I remember her and Lyra Valkyria tearing up in the Indies in the not NXT UK in the Indies in UK. And also her work in the NXT UK with Rhea Ripley in 2019. These people, like, the way these women are booked on SmackDown is so depressing. And how they devalue Chelsea Green is disrespectful. Anyways, it's a whole rant that turned into, I haven't even got through what I was going to talk about. I was like, anyways, Chelsea Green was dressed as a Mountie, which I love that attention to detail. So she's dressed as a Mountie, but then we get Chelsea Green and Alba Fire in a segment with Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace has beef, as we know, with Jade Cargill, who is like 100 days champion and with no defenses. Not sure how that builds credibility. I get not just, throwing your championship all over the place and giving random challenges, but accepting random challenges. But you sit here and not have your one title defense. I don't know, it's either sabotage or they just don't trust her, or Tiffany Stratton's taking that thing as soon as she comes back, because there's no way. But They did the same thing to Io Shirai. I remember Io, she won the championship, and then it was like February last year. She won the championship, and then she went two months without defending the championship, then lost it her first match back to Naomi, cash in. So she spent 2 months in catering with the championship. That's kind of what they're doing to well, actually, they're just having Jade Cargill come out and say, "I'm that bitch," and then walking away. Yep. You can't make this up, man. I wish I could though, but then Alba Fire and Chelsea Green get accompanied to the ring by Jordynne Grace because Jordynne Grace and Jade Cargill aren't besties right now. They're not on the best of terms. So Chelsea Green had a match with Jade Cargill, still not putting the championship on the line, but you know, she did that and then beat Chelsea. Chelsea looking up at the lights again because the company is exploiting her willingness to not say no. So they're like, "Oh, you won't say no? Okay, we'll exploit that. We'll have you lose a bunch, and then you're not even good enough to lose to Alexa, even though that you're a generational star and you take garbage and make it into gold, have this amazing character work. You're still not on the same level as Alexa." It's crazy how the fans can appreciate the stars more than the company they work for. That's a whole different story for a different day. But after that, we get Jordynne Grace saying some words and then her challenging Jade to a match, and then Jade says no, and then she walks away. Then we cut to Charlotte and Alexa. This is always kind of sad to see because Alexa Bliss got the biggest reaction. No, actually, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss got the biggest reactions at last year's Royal Rumble 2025, but for the wrong reasons. Alexa Bliss got the biggest reaction, biggest pop because of her return. Charlotte Flair got the biggest reaction and the biggest social media reactions along with Jey Uso for getting the most dislikes, getting, you know, all that stuff. And I'm just like, they're pulling the same thing they pull with Asuka. The company they desperately want Charlotte to be that top woman. So what are they going to do? They're going to sacrifice Alexa's her fire, and then shove them together, hoping that Alexa will give Charlotte that rub, because Charlotte, you know, the natural born heel, but they're just, Vince and Triple H both have that thing when they're just trying to force it. You know, like they over trying to beat the audience into submission. And I'm just like, just, and they're over here they're just trying to. I mean, I see what they're doing. That's why I don't cheer for Charlotte, because I know what's going to happen. One of these days, Charlotte's going to turn heel, and then she's going to win about 1,000 more championships, and people are going to be like, "We didn't see this coming." And then they're going to boo, and then this is just an experiment right now. That's all it is. That, like, this whole team, like, we're not friends. Next, because I already know what's up. And then Alexa took the pin from Kiana James. It's so crazy. People are saying good for Kiana James. I'm like, okay, well, first of all, Kiana James lost to Michin in 7 seconds, and then somebody whose momentum isn't stunted because Alexa Bliss has so much aura, but she's being put on hold because they're trying to give Charlotte that rub, and then you make Alexa Bliss lose to Kiana James. That's wild work, man. I can't, bro. That's so crazy. And then we get Drew McIntyre saying some words, and then saying some words about Sammy's son. It's Sami Zayn himself, and then that was it. Nothing much. Nothing much really. But on the bright side, from Alexa Bliss losing, at least she sold the lax extension. she sold that so well. It was pretty cool to see just like how she can like Lash Legend can hit, because Lash Legend hit that move on she hit that move on Hyper Niven at one point, and it was crazy because that was a lot of like torque and rotation. It was really cool. It was really cool to see. But unfortunately, we would have a segment between R-Truth and Nick Aldis, and the part that really is it's amusing to me is that WWE is trying to play this damage control thing to where, you know, they're saying that, you know, what we did to Truth, you know, it wasn't what we thought, and it wasn't what the fans are thinking. And then Truth went on the Breakfast Club and said, well, yeah, they said that I don't have any more dates. They said, don't come to work. And then some more stuff that he listed, and it sounded like a firing. And then, you know, they're over here trying to say, well, you know, so and so. It was all part of the show. Fans, you're all stupid. Give us money, though. But if you have an opinion, you can F off. It's like over here in his Moose bag, because Moose is over here crying on social media now about people having opinions that hurt their feelings. Pretty sure Moose is like 6'5". It'd be the biggest people with such fragile egos. But yeah, it's really sad to see. It's so sad to see, man. It's so sad to see. R-Truth, man. Like, he recently got brought up to Raw just to lose to Gunther, and then he got back onto TV just to talk about his balls to Nick Aldis. They've been making this man talk about balls for like a few months, since like last year, and they still not done with the ball. I just hope he doesn't show, like, I don't know what's next. I don't get what's next. Like, if they make R-Truth, if they only make R-Truth make testicle jokes on TV for like 3 to 4 months straight, what else are they going to make him do? They already dressed this dude as a Easter bunny during Christmas. What are they going to do now? I'm tired of them making R-Truth talk about nuts, man. It wasn't even funny it was funny the first time. And then the second week, no. First week, no. And now we like a few months into, we're in a whole different, we're in a new year, and they're still talking. I don't know, man. It's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore, dude. It's not funny anymore. It's not. It's run its course. It's run its course. I think it's run its course. But then for that, we get Shinsuke. We get Shinsuke Nakamura talk about his match with AJ, because Nick Aldis wanted, you know, because Nick Aldis wanted to be in AJ's ear about putting his career on the line. And then Shinsuke and him wanted to revisit something. And they can't help but to be bothered by the terminology. They said, revisit the rivalry that they had. No, renew the rivalry that they had. But the problem is not renewing the rivalry, because they're not renewing a storyline, and they're both faces. So they're just revisiting memory lane. That's not renewal of a rivalry, because they don't even have beef. AJ's beef is with the ring general who tapped out to Jey Uso. Yeah, like that, the whole terminology, it was bothering me the whole night. But then we get Randy Orton talking to Kathy Kelly. He says some words, and then that was about it, really. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. Man, this show is so, like, it's sad. I'm laughing because, like, this show sounds anticlimactic on paper, but it was a good show. It really was. SmackDown was really good. It's been good all year. Even though that we're still in January, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty, I wouldn't say solid, but it's rewatchable for sure. Then we got Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov, or Ivan Dragoff. if he I can't say that on YouTube. But yeah, if you know, if he's unalive, he's unalive. But then we get Ilya versus Carmelo. Carmelo, he's about to get hit with an aerial attack from Ilya Dragunov, and then all of a sudden we see Michael Gregory Mizanin push Ilya off the top rope, and then we see Ilya get hit with one of the nastiest first 48s. Like, it was about like the one that Johnny Gargano got hit with when he bounced was like, that one was pretty bouncy. But I'm gonna demonstrate what I saw from Ilya. He hit one of them. He hit one of them. Dude made him do a front flip off his knees. It was so cool to see. But yeah, pretty sure the Miz just did that because he wants to be the one to get his comeuppance and defeat Carmelo Hayes for the United States Championship. I like what they have going on with the Miz and Carmelo, though. I love what they have going on with them. Yeah, I like it though. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but then after that, we get this segment with Cody Rhodes, and well, first it was an interview originally, but then kind of like halfway through, we get Jacob Fatu sitting down and looking like he's representing the Bloods, looking like he's repping the set. Every week since he got back, he's been looking like he's been showing some love. But we get Cody Rhodes saying, "I respect you, and I respect what you have to say, Jacob. And if you think you..." It's just the way he talks. Like, I don't like. He can say the most crazy cool thing, but I don't know. It's like, it's because he talks like this, and he wants to be. I'm just like, bro. Like, he sounds like a theater kid, like one of those theater kids who look like they cut their skin for fun. Like, that's what Cody sounds like. I will beat you and become WWE champion at WrestleMania. But anyways, Cody did hit a crazy line on Jacob. He said, well, he said something about Jacob not thinking, and that's why he got locked up. Crazy. Well, and then it ended. Then it ended after that. But yeah, that was a cool little thing. Anything that revolves around not being in the ring, I'm interested in, because we always get. I mean, it's bad enough that we get street fights that never leave ringside. So to see promos during this show, you know, for the most part, be outside the ring was pretty cool. But yeah, we get, you know, we get the Wyatt Six and the MFTs, but at least they're fighting over something. I guess that was the refreshing part, is that they're fighting over something. But honestly, I really couldn't even. I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm just gonna skip that entirely. I'm not gonna lie. I like when it comes to these two factions like being paired together. It's so hard for me to watch. I usually just fast forward, even though they have something to fight for. Which is the Lantern. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to watch. But then we cut backstage and we see Ray Phoenix and Trick Williams, you know, having a little discussion. Trick Williams is saying that, "Hey, Ray, I thought you were going to thank me for making you famous." And then kind of just part ways. They kind of just separate and go their separate ways. And Ray is like, "You will remember me." But I'm like, WWE teams Ray Phoenix and Penta against literally everybody in the company but each other. I don't understand why. It's very bizarre. Ray Phoenix, he teamed up with Jimmy Uso, Javon Evans. He teamed up with like the LWO. He teamed up with everybody, Andrade, but everybody but his brother. And then on Monday they had Ray Mysterio, Dragon Lee teaming with Penta. I don't know why. I don't know, man. And they've done nothing significant with Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix has my favorite entrance in WWE, though, for sure. But he's just irrelevant as hell because he's booked he's booked like the dude's booked like a can of paint. There's nothing significant when it comes to. I don't know, man. It's very hard to care. It really is. There's nothing else to say about Animo, but highly suggest that you watch his Lucha Underground work. It's impeccable. And then we get Fraxium, which their theme song infuriates me because of how good the other one I think is smashing them, cracking them, body count tall, we smashing them, or something like that. I'm like, bro, it's so bad. But then the reason I like this storyline is because they're fighting over something, which is Axiom's stolen mask. So then we get Axiom kind of creating a distraction by putting the mask on backwards on Candice LeRae. Also another thing, it's also great to hear Johnny Gargano use his theme song, "Coming Back for You" from NXT. He's been using it for the past a few weeks, but it's always great to hear. Anything's better than that Def Rebel do 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 the DIY. Because if you pay attention to it, it sounds like another song from the NXT. But anyways. Instead of doing his finisher or something cool or climactic, we get a fruit roll up on Johnny Gargano instead of pinfall victory from a Phoenix Splash or one of Nathan Frazier's like little moves when he goes like I can't explain it. It's like kind of like I can't explain it. It's like a moonsault. It's like a moonsault. He goes off the ropes and he hits. I'm not gonna stop until I get this right. It's a moonsault elbow drop. There we go. Catches DT inverted elbow drop. There we go. But yeah, he hits something like that, but a fruit roll up. I don't know. And the thing was, Candice LeRae, she was blinded, so he could have at least, done something cool, like his finisher instead of a fruit roll up. But anyways, the match ended a pretty good match, and then after that, Candice LeRae stole back the mask. So we're gonna continue that story until we get the mask back, which I don't mind. I don't mind it. I don't mind the story. But yeah, we get Kit Wilson and Zack Ryder. I'm only calling him Zack Ryder because he said that he never returned to Zack Ryder because if he heard the music he'd throw up, and then he returned to Zack Ryder and then lost and then came back as Matt Cardona. But yeah, him and Kit Wilson have their little promo interaction, and then you see Kit Wilson and Matt Cardona kind of get into a little heated love session, and then Kit Wilson is talking about all the things he loves about Matt's body, and how he wants to just sop him up with a biscuit, talking about his abs and his shoulders, and I'm just like, okay. But then he's saying no, because you're toxic and you think the world revolves around you. And then Matt walks away, and then hits the pick me line of, men, am I right? And then yeah, it just cuts to Drew McIntyre talking about, words. And then Damian Priest and Sami Zayn, they're having like these words, and then Sami Zayn is talking about, hey, you, I have no problems with you, Damian. Hug. And then Damian's like, well, no hug, but I'll advise you not to get in my match. And then Sami Zayn's like, well, make me, bro. And then they're about to have a little scuffle, and then Sami Zayn was like, hold up. And then he walks over to Drew and then smacks him like one of those pimps from back in the day. And then instead of Drew doing something, he just kind of just does that. But it's counterproductive to have your champion do that, because to have your champion, like, but the thing that I don't understand is they're trying this new thing where Sammy's like a crash out, but even that won't work because his character is so non-existent. His only personality trait, if you can call it that, is getting in other people's business. That's been his business since he lost the Intercontinental Championship, is to get in other people's matches, get in other people's business, get in other people's storylines. And I'm just like, dude, like, Sami Zayn, he's been booked to be one of those dudes nobody really cares about, but then he just has to make himself known. Like, I remember Sami Zayn, he got himself, like, he self-interjected his way into a storyline that had nothing to do with him on SmackDown. I was like, wow, they really have nothing for Sammy. This dude over here, he's like, kind of, I'm gonna get my TV time. Like, that's how they're booking Sammy. I'm just like, bro, you're gonna make the crowd turn on Sami Zayn. And then the crowd turns on Sami Zayn. Well, not the sheep who pay to be there. I'm talking about the people who actually watch the show. A lot of them people, they don't even watch for real. And if they do, like, the supermarks and the casuals, that's who are in attendance. So the attendance, like, the people in attendance don't really matter, but they're more like trained seals. They're like Marcus the sea lion. They're kind of just there because they paid money and they want to enjoy the show. So they, oh, and yay and all that stuff. But then, it's a different thing behind the scenes, and especially online. People think online people don't matter, but views and numbers, like, people say the internet isn't real, but if we say something you like or give your show high ratings, you thank the internet. It's kind of what Triple H said. The internet doesn't exist. It's just a bunch of people who don't like the show and they just want to critique. But then Triple H thanks the internet immediately when there's good ratings, when there's high ticket sales, I'm like, yeah. Okay. But yeah, I'm not sure what they did for Drew, because Drew beat Sammy like 10 plus times. So why is he like to Sammy? I don't get it. Like, it did nothing for it. Made him look like he was scared of Sami Zayn. Why are you scared of somebody you beat in double digits amount of times? I think he beat him like 11 times now. Anyways, Cody Rhodes, he walks up to he walks up to AJ Styles, and AJ is like, yeah, hey, are you gonna convince me not to do the match with my career on the line? He's like, no. And then he says some words to I usually don't listen when Cody talks to people because he either says, you know, I respect you, you want me to be a martyr, um you're a strong man, I respect you, what do you want to talk about, what do you want to talk about, and I respect you. But anyways, he goes to his tour bus. He goes to his Cody Express. It's not called that, but tour bus. Like it just reminds me of Lex Luger. But you know, he goes and shuts the door, and then Drew wrote the American Dream. You know, trolling him. That was cool. And then we get the main event. I mean, it was cool, but Sami Zayn and forced his way on in. Sami Zayn's like he's one of those dudes who will make sure his name is known in the group chat, but nobody really wants to talk to him. Like he forces himself in that group, and then like they just don't want him in there, and he's like he says something outrageous or says something discriminatory to try to get everyone's attention. That's what Sami Zayn's booked as. Like Sami Zayn's that character. Like he's such a nuisance. It's unbearable. It's been like this for like 2 years. Ever since Sami lost that title, that's how he's been booked. He's been booked as a damn Karen. It's irritating. He ruined the main event. But that was just because, you know, him and Damian so-and-so, you know, and Randy are having this, and Trick Williams are having this fatal 4-way. And yeah, after Sami got involved and ruined the match between Trick Williams and Damian Priest, Trick Williams hit the trick shot on, I think it was Damian Priest or Randy. And then Randy hit Sami with an RKO, and then it was funny because like I believe it was Trick Williams who was so happy and he was like cheesing and he got RKO'd, and then the show kind of went off air. It was a good show, but it wasn't bad. It's been a lot better than Raw recently though. Raw has not been good. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments about anything that happened on SmackDown, or if you're just watching me because you don't want to watch. That's cool too. Everyone's got their own free will. But yeah, let me know what you think about the show down in the comments. Let me know what storylines you're interested in or want to see. And yeah, that's about it really.